Hello and welcome to the everyothers podcast for a brand new episode this week, where Rangers have finally got a victory and we can't drop points anymore because we went through the Scottish Cup final to face Celtic, beating Hearts yesterday after a really dismal week for everybody really involved. It was poor on the pitch, poor for the manager as well with some of the comments he had made, and just a kind of poor energy amongst all the support really going into this game. But obviously, it was imperative to get through to the final. I mean, if we'd lost here to Hearts, it would have been just chaos. I think everybody's just obviously happy to get the victory out of the way, get this game out of the way, get to the final, and obviously you've got something to play for in the last game of the season now, which will be it'll be a tough game regardless because you know how we are against Celtic. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But we'll be talking about the Hearts game, moving on to obviously the St Mirren game next week as well. We'll cover that as well. So if you do enjoy the episode, if you could like, subscribe, and share. We'll start on that Hearts game then. We could obviously have talked about the Dundee game, but I thought I am best not to kind of talk about absolute dire football. Just a completely dire night in general. That one obviously failing to get the victory. 0-0 draw. Probably should have got beaten the night, really, because Dundee were better. And it feels like we actually got away with just getting a point actually that night. So it leaves us 3 points now behind Celtic at the top of the league. We obviously go into the split now after obviously this game into the weekend. We go into the split, St Mirren away, and then it's kind of business for there. If you win all your games, you win the league, but it's obviously the same in Celtic's hand as well. So we'll see how it goes. But it was just nice to get a victory again, get that sort of feel good factor back again that we had previously. Um, and obviously your man there, Cyril Dessers, sends us through to the final. Really, the first one is just it was probably one of the best goals I've seen of the weekend. To be honest with you, the touch for Cantwell, and then just how he looked like a striker actually taking the ball and scoring. It was a great finish. Obviously, had a couple other chances throughout the game, but then finishing with great work for Cantwell again, driving through the Hearts defence, laying it on a plate for Dessers, and then he obviously gets the second one in for the rebound. So all round, I mean, it's much more like it in terms of what we expect for Rangers in this team, but still could definitely go up a couple of levels. But I guess for a cup game, you just kind of want to win no matter what.
That's it, mate. You just want to win, get the victory, and obviously we did that. Dessers, obviously, as you say, with the first goal there, fantastic finish. Could have had one just before as well if he used his head. He could have had one early doors as well, but no. Overall, just happy getting to the final, obviously, and a couple of shining stars throughout the performance. Obviously, Connor Golson got dropped and Balogun stepped in, showed you what it's like to have a real centre half at the back there, and then Diomande as well. Ways we cast on there was fantastic, and Cantwell as well. Just thought Cantwell played really well. And Dessers, man, he could have had 4 or 5 for me really, but he was unlucky not to get a hat trick, man.
Nah, he was unlucky because obviously at the end of the game, everybody was kind of lining him up for it, trying to play the ball into him to get the hat trick. But I thought he done well. He doesn't. Looking at Philippe Clement's interview after the game as well, he needs to be more physical when he's going in for duels and going up for the ball and stuff. He's beat too easily, and that for me. But in terms of everything else about his play, I mean, obviously the two goals speak for themselves, which win us the game. So obviously he'll get his plaudits for that. But yeah, a couple of missed chances here and there, but that's become to be expected for him. Just happy he put the two away as well as he did on the day. But going through the rest of the team, obviously Jack Butland had a couple of decent saves to make. Hearts, it's been the same story for Hearts all season against us, really. Obviously, bar the first one, they played against us at Ibrox, where we had to wait and bide our time and score two late goals to beat them. They've came and played us and just have had no answer, really. They're a good team as well. They've got good players in that squad, and for whatever reason, we just seem to be comfortable against them. But they had a couple of chances. I'm sure it was Frankie Kent with a header that went below or just under Butland, and obviously sent out for a corner. And Yutaro Odas, and I think it was like the 88th minute, 2-0 up at that point, and great save for Butland again. But much more like it for Butland, making big saves in big moments. Distribution was quite good as well. So I was pretty happy with him.
I thought Bottom was amazing, mate. Honestly, as you say, the saves were fantastic. I just showing yet again why he should be involved in England's team in the summer. Although whatever happens with us, I think he just deserves to be in that team. It was fantastic. Yeah, again, man. Top saves, all round fantastic for Butland again.
Nah, and then on to Tavernier. I thought Tavernier was brilliant, to be
Right.
honest. I thought he was really good for setting the tone in the game. Obviously, with that kind of, you would say, a tackle winning the ball back for the first goal to then lead to Cantwell to Dessers to obviously 1-0. I think that they kind of thing set tone for the game, and I feel like he was not he was really quiet going forward, but I thought defensively he was really, really solid. He didn't kind of allow, I think it was Alan Forrest down that side and Stephen Kingsley, the left back for Hearts. Didn't really allow them too much going forward at all. And I thought, for a defensive standpoint for Tavernier, I thought it was really good and kind of setting the tone and the example on the pitch. But I thought he had a pretty good game yesterday.
I thought he was quiet going forward, but same as you. But as I say, that comes down to who's right next to him. You know what I mean? You get a solid centre half there who actually as a defender in Leon Balogun, but I defensively could agree with that, setting the tone and what have you. But going forward, it's quiet. But I defensively, I was solid, man.
No, and then obviously onto the centre half partnership. It was a surprise to everybody. Obviously, Goldson getting dropped. It shouldn't be a surprise because he's been absolute dug meat for God knows how long. But that's Rangers managers have came and went without dropping Goldson for the team, and Philippe Clement's made that statement, and he's done that. He said in his post-match interview as well he was going to do it in Dundee, but Balogun obviously fell ill. So for the fact that Balogun's been ill this week, stepped into his first start probably since maybe he broke his cheekbone that day. Can't remember what game that was. Might have been Motherwell at home.
Aye.
A while ago anyway, since he started the game, comes in and he's just colossus at the back. He's brilliant. If if he's 10 years younger, he's like one of the best centre halves in the league, right?
Aye.
But I like the role Leon Balogun plays when he's called upon. He steps up and he puts on the shirt and he wears it with pride and he basically does everything to play as best as he can. And I can't ask for anything more than that. I thought he was probably obviously looking at Diomande, Cantwell, Sterling, the rest of the side yesterday. There was a lot of good performers in the side, but Balogun was key to kind of just calming things down, getting balls out of the box, and a lot of time where we've had panic around our defence in the past couple of weeks, he's kind of showed that up in the space of one game, and I thought he was really, really good.
That was fantastic, mate. He was my man of the match. I think he's just on and off the park, mate. He's a guy you want to have around the club. And just a top performer as well. So
Aye,
Suter. I mean, I thought Suter did well as well. I thought he had a bit of shaky spell second
aye,
half,
he had a
but
couple of moments where it was a bit.
he looked a bit like here what we doing here. But there was a great shot and all before the game where it was Goldson and Barisic sitting next to each other, and I just thought, oh, if you could just put it there. They are the two that also we know Barisic is going, but Connor Goldson has to follow as well for me in the summer. I mean, obviously Balogun, as you say, if he was younger, it's no problem. But he's at that age, isn't he? So it's
Nah,
just a shame in terms of that. But I thought, as I say, I thought Suter was a bit shaky second half. But apart from that, I thought the back two were solid, man.
nah. I think Suter definitely has shaky moments in him. I think watching him I think there was one the ball was coming down and he chose for it to land and try and play at his feet rather than just kind of headed it away and he get caught out. There was a couple of times where he maybe got caught out, but I thought as a pairing they worked quite well together. I don't think that'll be the last we see Connor Goldson though, because I don't feel like Suter done enough to kind of stake them like the
Yeah,
claim that I'm the kind of main guy in the back. I felt Leon Balogun did that, to be quite honest with you. I think it'll be either Suter or Goldson partnered with Balogun for the rest of the season. And I think the both of them play their best football with Balogun next to them. So we'll see how that goes. But on to Sterling, I thought again, really, really good. Wherever you play him, it's just standard performance for John Sterling at this point. Motoring down the left hand side, always an outlet. Strong in the duels, the tackles. Um, I can't really ask Sterling for much more. Obviously, I would rather him in midfield. Come Sunday. Hopefully, Ridvan Yilmaz will be back for that game because I think what the last 3 or 4 podcasts we've done, we've put Yilmaz in at left back because apparently he's going to be back in 2 days and he's still no back. But nah, it's just kind of standard for Sterling. And when he he took it by. I think it was Oda in the second half. He just kind of run right round him as well. He was obviously good in that attack as well.
No, he was sensational going forward as well, mate. And as I say, another one with a Colossus performance. Easy for me to say that word, but I just thought he was immense, mate. Honestly, as you say, anywhere you play him, and as we're hoping, hopefully have Yilmaz back for the weekend and can drop a Scoutser and put him in the middle of the park would be nice.
Nah, because like, what you look at in the middle of the pitch, Sterling and Diomande for me will complement
Oh,
each other so well. You look at the upgrade of the midfield for the past couple of games when Diomande's in there, he's just effortlessly good on the ball. In tight situations, he recovers the ball well and it just kind of passes you out of danger. Whereas you look at John Lundstrom's under no pressure and he gives away the ball. That's the compare and contrast for me between the two players. And obviously, I think Lundstrom does play better when he's next to somebody like Diomande or like Sterling, but Lundstrom's far too slow and just lethargic. And for me, he doesn't take us anywhere going forward. He's decent for recovering the ball, but there's too many times where he gives the ball away and puts us under pressure for literally no reason.
ah, he's done, man. He's done. It's as simple as that. As you say, too lethargic. Just you know what I mean. And as you say, putting us under pressure when there's nobody even near him. So I don't honestly with Lundstrom, it's one of them, as you say, you're just done with him. Do you know what I mean? It's time. Just on your bike,
Nah,
as I say. Didn't think as I say, his energy levels and all, he just didn't look at it. Do you know what I mean? Compared to the boy next to him, Diomande, who was just unreal, just sensational, man. And as you
nah,
say, that's how we build the team around Diomande, and as I say, my boy Sterling as well would be nice.
nah. Like Diomande coming back in, and for me, he was my man of the match. I thought he was absolutely brilliant in the middle of the park, and it took us up a level we needed to be at. Obviously, again pushing forward. He was always looking forward rather than behind. Um, really physical in the duels as well, winning the ball back at really crucial times to get us on the counter attack going forward. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I think we've obviously seen glimpses of how good he can be since he's been here in January, but I think that was one of his top kind of performances yesterday. I thought he was outstanding in the middle of the park, and you just hope he's partnered with somebody kind of like minded for going forward, and that can even include somebody like Nico Raskin. I'm by no means wrote off him yet at all, but somebody like him next to anybody but Lundstrom, really. That's kind of
Aye,
where I'm
that's the
at.
way it is, mate. That's the way it is at the moment. Do you know what I mean? MD but Lundstrom playing. As I say, that was the only one for me where I was like, why is he sticking by him and he's playing him? You know what I mean? It's you see, I feel like Raskin's not really had a look in under the manager really properly. Do you know what I mean? Which is
Nah,
sort of making me think maybe he doesn't fancy him. But I mean, I'd like to see Diomande and Raskin as
nah.
well play with each other. Just the MD one that's not John Lundstrom for me
Just somebody
would be
with
fantastic.
legs and energy, and somebody that can combat themselves
Somebody
in
that
midfield.
can be asked to play for the club. That would be nice. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. John Lundstrom is for me. He's as good as done here, but Clement's Um, comments on him say that's kind of maybe still in the pipeline and he'll sign a new contract. So we'll need to wait and see on that one. I don't think that will be best pleased with a lot of fans. But obviously Abdallah Sima did start on the right hand side, so subbed really quickly off for Ross McCausland on the day. Feeling his thigh again. I think that's where he did have the injury when he went to AFCON with Senegal. You hope that's not kind of a reoccurring injury, and you hope he's kind of back, and that was just a precaution to kind of just treat him before it gets any worse. So, Seema obviously best wishes to him, and hopefully he's back for the weekend. McCausland came on. The thing that annoyed me about what we done with McCausland is why we hitting high balls to him all the time to try and get him to head the ball onto anybody. Like he's probably one of the shortest players on the pitch, and we're hitting high balls to him against Stephen Kingsley, who's a decent size himself. He's never winning them. I felt a bit
Aye.
sorry for him at that point. But what McCausland does really well for me is he might not be the most kind of potent attacker. He might not be the winger that like a Matondo or a Sima, Oscar Cortez even is, where he's driving at players and he'll beat them. In that position, you know what you're getting. You're getting a guy who, when he gets the ball, it just sticks to him sometimes, and he can just take those little dribbles inside the pitch, get players involved in the play. And I thought he'd done that really well yesterday. There was a couple of opportunities where he could have maybe done a bit better for an attacking sense, but when he gets the ball down and he kind of drives, um, I think he looks comfortable and he helps Tavernier out on that right hand side like completely different to anybody else that's been there. So I think the two of them work really quite well in here. It's obviously been unfortunate that McCausland's not really had too many games either because of players coming back into fitness. But I thought he done all right yesterday, to be quite honest with you.
No, I thought my cousin did really well, and I agree with that. I do think him and Tav complement each other really well. Just touching on Seema as well, I hope it's not one of them where, as I say, misses a large number of the running coming up, because I mean, I don't think my heart can take it, Jack, if we don't obviously sign him, because as I say, he's been fantastic through all of the season. But my cousin came on, mate, and just he just shows you, as I say, he has that effort and he actually wants to play for the club. You can tell, as you say, and I don't know why we're doing that at all. As you're on about there, do you know what I mean? 4 foot something, you're trying to hit the high balls to him. I don't get that at all. But aye, as I say,
Aye.
thought he came on and he done really well. I know Rabbi went off and he was sort of had ice on his leg as well. So he'll be
I
alright
think
as well.
Matondo is okay. For as far as the Premier Sports interview with Clement, they did mention that and said he's all right. It was just kind of purely tactical at that point. I think with Matondo on the other side, Matondo just needs to believe in his abilities more. Try and go by people. Try and like you could clearly tell he was thinking about what he's going to do far too much, and he was getting caught in possession. He wasn't taking the right action in the attack. He wasn't using his pace enough. Obviously, when he used his pace in the first half, he blitzed through the Hearts midfield, and obviously we had a good chance for that. But just had to believe in himself more for me. That's kind of all it comes down to with Matondo. Just felt he was kind of in the stars a bit too much.
In his own head too much. I think that's a common thing with Matondo a bit, as you say. He just needs to trust himself and believe in his quality, because he's got it there. I know a lot of people say he's maybe better coming off the bench, but I think you just need to start him. I think he's earned the chance to start. Do you know what I mean? And
He's earned the chance to start more than he was poor yesterday, but that doesn't mean he's going to be completely dropped for the rest of
no,
the season. That's kind of where, aye,
I'm still
he give him the
still
chance.
still my starting thing for the weekend coming up. But no, mate, I'm the same as you. He just needs to believe in himself, and not really think about it too much. But the boy in the middle of the park there was fantastic, and this is what I wanted to obviously say for him. I thought he did really well. Another one of the star performers for yesterday, man.
Nah, and it just makes that decision a couple of weeks ago for the Old Firm game where he wasn't starting the game even
It's
more
ridiculous.
bewildering to me because he can pick up the ball and he can just create a chance kind of on his own. Todd Cantwell is our best player going forward. Like there is no question about it at all. When he's on it, we play better as a team. When he's on it, he creates chances for people. Like Dessers twice yesterday. I thought he was good. Just his all round general play as well. His energy to get the ball back and be physical, go up for duels again. Like he was, it was much more like we all kind of expect for Cantwell. And hopefully the rest of the season he can be a kind of big player for us.
He has to be, mate. He has to be a big player for the rest of it. As you say, it was stupid. He should have started that Old Firm game, and I would hope Come On would look back and say to himself, I should have played him. As you say, the work he done yesterday, obviously get Dessers the goals, just fantastic. And I just hope going into it now, you know what I mean, he's one of them, will definitely be up for it, but just obviously need to see what happens, man. But as I say, I thought Campbell was fantastic yesterday, man.
Nah, I thought he was really good. And then Dessers, obviously we mentioned him at the start, leading the line, scoring 2 great goals to send us through. He's the most annoying player probably ever at Rangers because he
Uh,
scores you 2 goals to win the game, yet you're still
Mate,
criticising
guy
him.
could have had five. The guy could have
Aye,
had five with the chances he had, man. I liked that he was unselfish at the end towards obviously Fabio. I thought fair play there, but as McCoisty said on the thing, mate, a proper striker knows it's the business. Do you know what I mean? Get that hat trick, but for me, he could have had 4 or 5, man.
no, he definitely had the
But
chances.
actually, how many games do we say that? But Dessler could have had 4 or 5. How many games are we sitting here going Dessler could have had five, 4 or 5,
It's
man?
unbelievable. He could probably, if he took every single chance that he got to him, he'd probably be like the leading scorer in Europe at the moment with the
Aye.
amount that we've created for him. But that sends him on to, I think, 19 goals for the season now, which
It's
is more than I
incredible.
ever thought he was going to get, personally. Seeing him for that run that he had again when Beale was the manager and stuff, like, I was like, this guy can't kick his own arse here. Like, what are we
Aye.
doing relying on this guy to score his goals? But Clement has got something out of him. It might not have been consistent every game, but near enough every game he's on the score sheet. It might take him a few chances. Obviously, big chances missed up at Ross County last week that we were rightfully like slating him for.
Mm.
Um, he
But
had a
he's,
decent chance the other night in Dundee that could have won us a game if it was also a good save for the goalie. But he scores us two to get us into Scottish
but
Cup
that's it,
final, really.
with Dessers, like you, obviously there's players in this team that we've talked about that put their heads down and what have you. See Dessers, he keeps going. He just keeps going. He knows that obviously we know right chances he should have scored them, what have you. But the guy keeps going and he's constantly there. So for me, he's
And
one of them.
he's always kind of he's at every decision that's made. He's at the referee shouting for stuff. He's trying to get the
I
team
mean,
more involved.
the decision yesterday with the referee, I think it was with Dessers. I don't know who the boy was. He was sort of like a push on the back or whatever. He was
Oh,
Campbell
that
was straight
was
in for a goal. That was ridiculous. I mean, the refereeing, come on, shambolic. But as I say, Dessers is always there, man. And he's a guy, as I say, for me, I've got a big love for him, man. I generally do, as I say. He's frustrating in the sense, as we say, he should get 4 or 5, but
But
I
then you
think he's
watch his interviews after the game, and you're like, how can you not love that guy? Like just
how
in
can you not?
general, as a person,
I don't
as a player for your club, he just looks like an all round good guy. It's somebody you want to support and see do well. And I was
know.
happy to see him get his
Exactly.
2 goals yesterday and have his moment in a big game because
Mm.
we've obviously been kind of robbed. He's kind of robbed himself at times, not scoring goals in crucial moments. Obviously, he was really hard done by with that moment a couple of weeks ago in the Old Firm game to get that goal. Obviously, previously as well, he scored against Betis and stuff, and he's had big chances in other games that you could have maybe thought, right, you could have made yourself a hero here, but he scored 2 goals to get us into the final when really we were going into this game in bad form. So for him, step him up, never really hiding, as some obviously you mentioned it as well, never really hides in the pitch, always asking for the ball. Um, can't fault him at all. Can't fault him at all. It'll be this time next week, but he'll have missed about 10 chances against
Oh,
St
don't.
Mirren again, and we're wanting Roof to
Aye.
start. So, aye, it was obviously a good job done yesterday. It was one of those cup games you just kind of need to go into it. You need to win, get yourself to the final, and obviously we're challenging now. It's mental how a week goes by and we're still challenging for a treble. That is still in the sights of this squad. So aye, it's going to be a heart wrenching end to the season. Obviously, this Scottish Cup final, when it comes around, is going to be
Massive.
it's
First
massive. The first one since 2001-02.
2002.
So there's only been one Old Firm Scottish Cup final since we've been alive.
That's
When you
crazy,
put it
isn't
into
it?
that kind of perspective, it's obviously crazy. But it'll be a huge game. It'll either be Celtic going for 2 trophies or us going for a treble. That's where it's going to be, and one team will need to win on the day, so it's going to be a tasty, tasty fixture. But we've got the league to contend with up until then. Last time out, it was Cyril Dessers that got us a victory again up at St Mirren. Obviously, we've been there twice this season already. Um, I think it was Stephen Davis actually that was the manager for that one. We won 3-0.
Aye, brutal.
So we've went there. We've won a couple of times. St Mirren obviously what a job Stephen Robinson's done over the past 2 seasons to keep them in a top six position. Brilliant job for him. They pick up points. They're hard to beat, and it'll be a tough one going over there. It's obviously been tough for us going away at the moment, going away to Ross County and going away to Dundee over the last week. So
Mm.
it'll be a big testament to see if this squad can get a victory in the league now because I believe Celtic playing this Saturday as well. So you need to respond again. So we'll see the mentality of the team on Sunday. I think again I've put Yilmaz in there. I think Goldson will come back in next to Balogun this time. I want to see Sterling, Diomande in the midfield. I think McCausland will keep his place. Matondo, Cantwell, Dessers. I think it will probably that's what I would like to see. If Sterling obviously needs to play at left back, I'd throw Nico Raskin into midfield alongside Diomande. Give something a bit more freshness in the middle of the park because I'm just sick and tired of seeing Lundstrom break down every single attacking opportunity we have. Um, so I think Goldson comes back in with Balogun, but what's your kind of thoughts? Obviously, it's a week
I
away,
wouldn't
so
bring him. I wouldn't bring him back in at all, mate. I would just keep the. You hope Yilmaz is back, but I'd keep the back like the two at the back the same. Middle of the park, you know Lundstrom's going to play as much as you would like to maybe see a rotation in there. You know Lundstrom's going to start. For me, going, I just as long as Fabio Silva doesn't play, mate, I'm all right. I really can't. I just can't go that guy at all, man. I really can't. I'm not a fan of him. But I wouldn't change the back two. I expect Goldson probably to come back in, but and I just obviously hope we can go and get the 3 points. It's pressure time, it's cooker time. Even though personally for me, I believe it's already done. I can't see us doing anything really at Celtic Park, but aye man, it's pressure cooker time now. I'd love for these players to shock me, turn that around and win every game. But I will see obviously what happens, man. As you say, credit to Smilne as well. Stephen Robson done a fantastic job there.
Aye, aye, you can't discredit what they've been able to do, but um, aye, I believe it's going to be a tight race. If we're to fall short again, we're our only people to blame are ourselves really. We were in the driving seat for a long time there, and we had the opportunity to extend that. But if we can't go and win the league, it's what it is now. But we're still in with the chance of doing it. The next Old Firm game that comes around at Celtic Park's going to be crucial for that to see where we end up. But aye, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I personally don't see any way that we can claw that back
Mm.
after being in such a good position. But stranger things have obviously happened, so we'll see. But that's been the episode. We'll obviously look forward to that St Mirren game in the Sunday, and then I think it's Kilmarnock the way our split goes after that.
Kilmarnock on the Tuesday, is it? No, Sunday's Kilmarnock and then
Aye,
Old Firm and then
and then it's a game in
Dundee and
midweek, I think, isn't
Dundee,
it?
aye.
And then obviously the season's done after that. So pretty much a month to go, a month to either
A
win a
month we
treble
see my
or
left at the club, mate. A month we see my left at the club. That's what I'm thinking about, mate. But I still a chance to win a treble as well. Which obviously fingers crossed. But aye, we'll see how it goes, man.
we'll see how it goes. Obviously a good victory the other day to get us kind of not ruined the weekend and the week leading up to the St Mirren game for once. So aye, we'll be back next week covering that St Mirren game and then looking ahead to the Kilmarnock game the week after. So we'll see you then.